Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's the Calfalos here, and today we are going to be continuing our playthrough of Arcane. So as usual, if you guys gonna enjoy it, you know what to do. Consider liking this video as well as subscribing. Really do appreciate the support here, but most importantly, it's so that you don't miss future episodes or uploads or skip the playthroughs or content just like this one. And with that being said, let's get this episode started. So here we are back in the game, and we're just continuing this Epilogue series here where we're taking a look at the incomplete side quests as well as bounties that are yet, yet to be completed in the game. So what we're going to do today is we're just gonna kick things off with a very quick battle. I believe it's a bounty battle, a battle that is involved in the bounty board. There's a bounty out on the NPC in the battle, I should rephrase. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna kick things off with that battle because there's actually 3 things that we need to do today, 3 side quests in total. So we're gonna kick things off with this one. I believe the NPC is somewhere in this particular area, in the boathouse. As you can see, there is a star over here. So let's go ahead and quickly interact with the guy outside and commence this battle. Corvin ain't taking visitors. Scram, the doorman, says he has wild glaring eyes. There's a bounty out on Corvin, which is true. There is a bounty out on Corvin. I will show you the bounty later on when we head back to the bounty board, but let's just go through with this first and see what happens. That does it. I've had enough of you, the doorman says. He lunges at you.
So many fools, so little time.
Misfortune is right there. There is so many fools and there is too little time. Okay, so we have Pike here, and one single attack is gonna, severely kill this guy. Obviously, we are like what, 21 levels over. So let's just go ahead and do a serrated slice and end him real quick.
A flesh wound. Maybe next time.
Yeah, that's more than a flesh wound, buddy. Okay, so that's it. We're gonna have to head in now, and I believe the actual bounty battle is inside. Alright, so there's Corvin, the big luck. So let's go ahead and head in. Let's loot the chest first. So it's to be you then, is it? Looks like it. Just a warning, if I go down, I'm taking everyone and everything down along with me. Friend or foe, it don't matter. Thing is, I don't go down easy. It ain't past my time yet.
Don't start what you can't finish.
Alright, so we're taking on Corvin, a back alley tenderfoot, and a wild gunner. I'm just gonna quickly show you what Corvin does first in case you are stumbling upon this video and you're facing this guy for the first time. He shouldn't really be too much trouble, but if you guys are playing this playing this game for the first time, you could potentially be taking on this battle at a very low level as well. So yeah, I'm just gonna quickly read through what Corvin does. I'm not gonna go through the back alley tenderfoot and the wild gunner. So Corvin does a reckless barrage, adds a hazard to the balance lane. Any character performing a action in the balance lane will take light damage. Cannon blast deals mortar damage and applies an ignite, dealing true damage over 3 turns. Reckless slam deals mortar damage to each champion and deals light damage to himself. He's also immune to stuns. Okay, so we have Pike here. Let's just go ahead and see if we could kill him real quick. We're gonna do a serrated slice. Unfortunately not. But it should still be enough. Let's do a sweeping blade here since he also has a multi-ability.
Knock him down.
And there we go. That is a very quick battle, very easy battle, obviously because I'm over leveled. Okay, so let's see what else is there. In the area, nothing much. Okay, so that means the bounty is done and we can leave. So I'm gonna quickly show you the bounty that we can collect later, but I believe there is a conversation just outside of this area by the docks. So let's go ahead and just quickly take a look and see what this conversation is about over here.
Pike, I'm sorry for everyone.
Thanks.
For what? What do you mean, girl? He's not ready to share. I don't think he ever will be.
Okay, so that's about it, I guess. Let's go ahead and head back to the bounty board, and I will show you the bounty with Housecrashed Corvin. We also need to collect the reward there. I believe I have a couple of bounties outstanding that I have not collected the rewards for, and then we'll take on the other missions that are in the Docks Harbor area. We're just gonna be focusing on the Docks Harbor area for today, and I believe it shan't be a long episode. So let's go and just quickly collect this bounty over here. We don't need a tutorial, I already know how to collect it. We have the bounty for Giffin, which we killed really early on. We have the bounty for Corvin, which we just killed, and we also have the bounty for the Veil Jumper, which we took on part of Ari's legendary weapon mission. So let's go ahead and see what else we got. We have the Razorfiend Behemoth as well as Commander Ledros. I think these two we'll take a look at later. I think the Razorfiend Behemoth should be relatively close by, maybe in the next episode or so, but yeah, we'll see how we deal with that later. Let's go ahead and speak to this particular NPC that is seated down here first. I believe he will give us a quest. His marker is not on the map. If I actually just move on to the side of it just to show you, his marker is not on the map, but he does give a quest. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna speak to him. Ma'am, could you please help? A sailor pleads from his chair. I broke me leg, I lost me job, and now me pet Fluffy is gone. His words are sincere, but his tone is practiced. And? Well, I was hoping that you could go and get him. I would do it myself, but as I said, my leg is broken. He sighs conspicuously. I'll pay you if you do find him, of course. Let's ask him a couple of questions first before we accept the quest. Back again has a hard thought. Will you help me find Fluffy, or is his soul still as icy as the failure? The sailor smirks. We don't even know what you want yet. Okay, let's ask him this. What does Fluffy look like? His pet, of course, which is called Fluffy. Well, he's brown. He's more like more like sea green, smallish. Well, I guess he's big for his breed. The sailor gives a couple more contradictory details before giving up. Not one of them mentioned his pet actually having fur. Okay, let's ask him how the hell did he break his leg. Oh, on a ship, the lame excuse is clearly insufficient. He continues, a ship hit a wave and I fell. Happens all the time, why does it even matter? Alright, let's not ask him anymore. Looks like he's giving a phony excuse. Thank the sea, I thought there'd be no end to your questions. Now, he turns, will you find Fluffy? I guess we will. That's great. The sailor pops up from his seat. You'll find him somewhere in the shipwright yard towards the slum. Suddenly his feet, his foot is alright. Before you go though, he reaches into the garbage pile next to him and pulls out a moldy head of cabbage. You'll need this. Cabbage is Fluffy's favorite snack. He won't go anywhere without it. Thank you for helping a poor injured sailor. Alright, so it looks like we need to find his missing pet. So I know where this missing pet is and I know what Fluffy looks like. I'm just gonna quickly move on to the area just to save everyone some time. We're not gonna waste too much time there. Actually, no, we can actually do this bit first, or do we? No, you know what? We'll leave that for later. It's gonna tie into the area that we have to go to, but I think we'll just leave it for, better organization and easier segregation of the quest. So let's go ahead and see where Fluffy is, and I believe this is Fluffy, which is this plunder crab over here. He is in the shadow right now. Maybe you can see clearly. I'll try to get him out into the sunlight, so let's go ahead and interact with it first. It's a plunder crab. It doesn't look fluffy, but it's in the shipyard. Okay, let's try to pet it. The crab snips at you as soon as your hand gets near it, nearly feral. It's a wonder it hasn't hurt someone yet. Okay, is this Fluffy? The plunder crab stops and looks up, recognizing its name. It is Fluffy. After a moment, it turns back to the pile of trash it's picking through. Suddenly, it catches the scent of the cabbage. One whiff of the putrid greens and the crab is at attention. Let's try to lure it out, I guess. Fluffy stands at attention. The only thing left to do is to lead him back to his master. Alright, so this is Fluffy. So let's try to get him into the light just to show you how he looks like. So as you can see here, it's a plunder crab. Now this part is a little bit of an annoyance because we have to make sure that we are not walking too fast. We need to make sure that he basically, stays within range of us. So we'll try to get this one done as quick as possible. If it takes too long, I'll probably just cut the video. But we're about halfway there, so I don't think we'll do. Okay, let's see if we could just get him to come closer to us. There we go. We're just gonna have to try to coerce him slowly past this drawbridge over here. Let's see if we can get him to come nearer, come closer to us. Okay. Alright, we're almost there. Don't walk back now. I know if I fail this mission, he's gonna walk all the way back to the shipyard and we're gonna have to bring him all the way back to the sailor. But we're really close now, so I doubt we're gonna fail. Let's hope the AI isn't too buggy and it doesn't suddenly decide to turn around. Okay, let's see if we can bring him down here. This way, boy, this way. Okay, there we go. So he's down here. Let's go ahead and speak to the sailor, which I presume is his master. My fluffers, thank you for returning him. The sailor beams with joy. The crab stares at the cabbage. Let's hand over the cabbage. Who's a good crab? You're a good crab. Without looking up, the sailor hands over the promised reward, 50 silver serpents and a few chunks of raw cabbage. That's it? The indigent sailor leaves his hand outstretched as he nuzzles the briny, unwashed crab. He drives a hard bargain. Well, we're not gonna get anything out of him, so we're just gonna take the 50 coins. Alright, cool. So we get 50 credits and a 5 times of fermented cabbage. I don't think that's going to be useful to us. Okay, so let's go ahead and speak to the next person, which I believe is the next, the giver of the next side quest. I know there's a couple of chests here. We're just going to leave that for now because I don't think we need the goal. The next side quest is going to involve this man over here, and as you can see, there is a person lying down. I'm not going to explain too much. We're just going to see the cutscene that ensues. So let's go ahead and move forward. That don't look like the work of some errant maniac. It's deliberate as if to make a statement. Looks like the work of the powder kicks. I seen them come by yesterday looking like they was in a dangerous mood. My brother. Okay, so this is the man in question. Let's speak to him. Terrible, terrible, a man mutters to himself, looking at his deceased brother. Terrible like fate. Let's ask him what happened here, though I think the answer is quite obvious. Well, that's the damn question, isn't it? A man can be begut right out in the open, in front of the jail no less, and yet not a single witness will come forward. He casts a glare at everyone around him. Who are you? Name's Owen. My brother there is Alex. We work as longshoremen, but last night Alex didn't come back to the inn. Now he's here, dead. Okay. It's his fault for being out. Who could have done this? This is a bit sarcastic, but I think we're gonna go with this. Who could have expected this? Bilgewater ain't safe, but I didn't think it had gotten this bad. Well, to be fair, I think you should have expected it. Anything is possible in Bilgewater from what I understand of the game region, per the lore on the fandom. So, yeah, I think it's a bit of a misjudgment on his side. Okay, let's ask him who could have done this. Maybe someone mistook him for someone else. They didn't even take his money, so it was no mugging. People keep talking about gang-related killings in Bilgewater, but I don't want to sniff around and get mistaken for some rival gang member. You look like an outlander. Don't think anyone would expect you being affiliated with a gang. Please ask around in my stead. I just want to know how it happened. I could pay you some coin. Well, Miss Fortune doesn't look like no outlander if you ask me. If anything, she's the big kahuna here in Bilgewater, so maybe a little bit delirious here from the death of his brother. But yeah, we're just gonna accept the quest and see what happens. Alright, cool. So we have to talk with locals about the murder, and he says that Alex wasn't the best brother in the world, but I deserve at least to know what happened. That's fair. Okay, let's ask him if he has any idea of who to ask. Well, there's that guppy Lenny near the bridge leading north to Grey Harbor. He's got his ear to the ground and about most things around here. There's also my boss Darren, south by the shipyard just below the lighthouse. He's familiar with the goings-ons on the harbor. I'd start with those two. Alex, you damn fool, he mutters. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna speak to Darren first. I know who we have to speak to. We actually have to speak to Lenny, but I'm just gonna go ahead and speak to Darren just to explore the conversation option. I believe up on this pier over here, there's also another conversation. So I'm just gonna quickly trigger this before we speak to Darren. So let's go ahead and see what this is.
Love, do they tell any stories of you? The great guru truth bearer?
I am but one of many truth bearers. There are no stories of me that I know. What of you? Do they tell your stories in the Shipyard?
Of course they do. It is good to have myths, legends. The Shipyard, oh, it is a land full of legends.
I suppose it is, Brom. Okay, so let's go ahead and speak to Darren. I believe he should be down here in the shipyard, which was why I was a little bit, I took a little bit of a thought process there on whether do we attempt this quest so that we get fluffy and at the same time speak to the boss. But I decided, in the end, it was better to separate it for, later. Okay, so let's go ahead and speak to Darren over here. A rather intense man surveys the remains of a beached ship. Most of that is too waterlogged to salvage. We waited too long to haul it in, he says to himself. Are you Darren? We ask. I am, and you are. We can either say we're Misfortune, Pike, or Yasuo. I think we're gonna say Misfortune because, you know, I think that name carries more weight around here, and I think that makes a little bit more sense. Misfortune. Oh, Misfortune, of course. Forgive my poor manners. I've been out in the sun too long. My eyes aren't what they used to be. What can I help you with? Do you know anything about the murder of the longshoreman Alex? Alex doesn't ring a bell. I don't even know the name of most of my employees, so maybe I'm not the best person to ask. Is there a lot of violence around the harbor in general? Always. This is Bilgewater after all. People that don't like the law like Bilgewater. That is accurate to my understanding of the lore. Okay, he was found dead. Any idea of what could have happened to him? Maybe it was some kind of gang initiation. One thing goes wrong, tempers flare up, and suddenly someone gets hurt. Happens all the time, that'd be my measure of things, Darren says. Okay, thanks Darren. Do with that what you will, I've other matters to attend to. He turns away and refocuses on the ship being salvaged. Okay, so he doesn't really provide any information here, and I guess, you know, he might not be able to, considering he is the ship captain. Because like I hinted earlier, I actually know who we have to speak to, and that person is Lenny. And Lenny should be the man which is by the bridge over on this side over here near my cursor, as you can see. So let's go ahead and see if we can run into him. There he is. There we go. So this is Lenny. Let's go ahead and speak to him. How's the day finding you? A man says, leaning against the post. Are you Lenny? That be me, yes. Whatever you heard, it isn't true. Hehe. If I can be of service, my ears are open. What are you doing out here? Just taking in the air. The salt of the sea is good for my lungs, he says. Do you know anything about the murder of the longshoreman Alex? Alex? Oh. He stops and ponders for a few seconds. No, I don't know any Alex. A murder, you say? You sound like you were about to say something. Very suspicious indeed. Yes. Seems I was mistaken, he says. He steals a glance at a nearby street vendor as he speaks. Why did you look at that street vendor? Him. Lenny leans in and lowers his voice. Look, I didn't want to say anything, but yeah, I did see it. That guy there is Barry. The man is a butcher, true and true. Butcher, sorry, not butcher. Let's continue. Now, what do you think will happen if I told old innocent Owen that Barry butchered his brother? Owen's gonna get visions of glory in his head and run headlong into Barry's knife. Now, both brothers are dead. We can either respond by saying Owen should hear the truth, we can say that we will tell Owen something else happened, or we can ask him, do you have any idea why a dock worker would be murdered? I think we'll ask him this first. Why is there a reason for anything? He simply replies. Well, that's a fair assessment. Okay, so let's go ahead and say that we should probably tell Owen something else happened. Or do we say Owen should hear the truth? No, you know what? We'll say Owen should hear the truth. I think that's the right thing to do. No need to get them both killed. Alex's luck has run out, but that don't mean Owen's has to too. Let's see what he says if we say we'll tell Owen something else happened. Lenny smiles. That would be the wise thing to do, he says. He won't be the last victim of Barry the Butcher, I'm sure. Tell him anything, tell him it was gang related, that stuff's always going on. Anyone's willing to believe that, he says. Thanks, Lenny. Sometimes the best thing to say is nothing, he says. He nods, dismissing further conversation. Okay, we're gonna return to Owen, and I think, you know, in spite of his persuasions to tell Owen a lie, I think we're gonna tell him the truth. I believe Owen deserves the truth, you know, to know that his brother is dead at the hands of a butcher, and I think that is the right thing to do. So let's go ahead and see what he says here. I think I know who did it, because the other things, you know, we already know. Let's say I think I know. Let's go with this option. Is that a fact? Well, you got my full attention. Okay, we can lie and say Alex was being recruited into the gang but his initiation went wrong, or we can tell the truth and say Alex got into a fight with a vendor Barry in a nearby stall. It was the wrong person to mess with. Okay, let's go ahead and tell him the truth. I think we owe it to him. He always was hot-headed. I told him, I warned him, even when we were kids. He would never learn that just because he was angry, that don't make him right, Owen says. That is words of wisdom to live by, to be honest. He looks defeated. He can barely look another person in the eye. Well, I suppose thanks is in order, even though I don't feel any better. Maybe I'll sleep better having known what happened. I believe this is yours. He hands over a sack of coins. Wish it could be more, but we are just longshoremen. It's alright, buddy. What will you do now? Let's ask him. I don't think I was the type to seek revenge, but after you said who it was, just seeing him there getting to walk around makes my blood boil. Owen says his fists and jaws are clenched. Let's try to advise him not to do anything stupid. I'd better see to the body. Give it a proper sea burial, he says. Okay, and that's about it. So looks like I think that is about it. Yeah, that's basically about it. I don't think there's any more side quests in this particular region, not to my knowledge at least. So what we can do in the next episode is we could potentially look at the Buru Grotto. I am aware that there are a couple of side quests there as well as a bounty. Or we could also look into the tight stockades over on this side, which I believe is also, hosting another side quest if I'm not mistaken. But we'll see what we do in the next episode because currently we're running out of time. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode of Ruined King, this epilogue, the second episode of the epilogue series here in Ruined King. And if you did, consider liking this video as well as subscribing. I really do appreciate your support here, but most importantly, it's so that you don't miss future episodes or uploads of single player playthroughs or content just like this one. And with that being said, this is Capital signing off. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for joining me. Hopefully I catch you all in the next one. Goodbye.